Hey guys, it's Richard from Galactic Digital, and in this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can dramatically increase your conversions using call tracking. Awesome, so we're just going to look at an account to give you an example. So in this account it's like a roofing type of campaign, and we've received 101 conversions and our cost per lead is $86. Now I just want to show you, because I have set up call tracking for this campaign, what the breakdown of calls versus web forms are for this campaign, just to kind of show you how much of a difference it makes. So we can see here, this is the software I use for call tracking, that we've received 38 calls and 57 forms, and it's only tracked 95 leads, so there might have been some extra leads that came through that weren't specifically tracked through here. So without call tracking, we would have received 38 less leads and our cost per lead would go up a lot, and there would have been 38 of these leads that we didn't know came through the campaign without having call tracking. So I'll just do some quick math to kind of show you how the numbers would change without call tracking. So let's go 101 minus 38 calls, so we would have got 63 conversions. And let's figure out our cost per conversion. So the total cost for this month was $8,750. So if we do 8,750 divided by 68 instead of 101, then our cost per lead would have been $128 versus $86. So our cost per lead would have gone up a lot. And maybe one more metric to check. Our conversion rate is 17% with call tracking. So let's check without call tracking. So 584 clicks. So, at the moment it's 101 divided by 584, which is, 17%. But if we were to do 68 divided by 584, then it would be 11% conversion rate. So just by having call tracking installed, we're getting an extra 6 or 7% of conversion rate, which is like almost double our conversion rate, not by changing the landing page, but just tracking leads that we're naturally receiving. Awesome, so there's a free method and also a paid method which I use to do call tracking. So I'm going to show you the free method first, and then I'll show you how to set up the paid method. So to set up the free way of doing call tracking within Google Ads, we want to go to Conversions, Summary, and then we're going to create a conversion action and conversions from phone calls. Yep, calls from ads, calls from website visits, calls via uploads, that's all fine. And we'll do phone call lead, and then we just need to set them up. So calls from ads, setup, settings, don't really need to use a value, and then we just want to do 1, and we can just say calls from ads, and then set up someone calls a number shown on your website, and then you're going to want to enter the number that is just normally shown on your website. Where is Australia? So for example, so this is the number that exactly appears on my website. Just make sure don't use a value, phone numbers. Awesome. Now we go save and continue. Now we need to set it up, and I like to set it up manually. So we go see event snippet, and then we can copy that and add that to the head section of our website. Now that's different depending on what website you're using, but if you're using WordPress, I'll show you how to do that. So we'll copy this snippet. Awesome, so I'm in the background of WordPress right now, and we just want to go down to plugins, install plugins, and we'll add a new plugin. And the plugin we want to add is, maybe just type like WordPress header. And then we want this one, insert headers and footers plus custom code snippets. That's the plugin we want to add. And then once we've added it, we should see it on the left here. And then we can go header and footer. And then we want to add the code in here. So I'll just add it like this. And that's how we set up the tag. So once you've set up the event tag, what you want to set up next is your overall Google tag if you haven't set it up yet. So you should have it set up, but if not, go to Tools and then Data Manager, and then the Google tag here, just go Manage, and then Installation Instructions, install manually, and then copy this, and then also just paste it on top of the other tag. So it should look like something like this. And then when both of these tags are installed correctly, then you should start tracking calls properly. Awesome, so that's the free method, and with that you'll start getting data on how many phone calls you receive in your Google Ads account. The problem with the free method is you can't see how long those calls were, you can't really see what keywords each specific call came from, and it's hard to know if the phone calls are good quality or not. It's just a number of, you got 15 phone calls. So the reason I like to do the paid method is I can listen to recordings of all the calls so I know if they're good quality, and I can also see what keyword a specific phone call came from. Awesome, so let's look at this phone call. Looks like they want to get a quote done. Looks like for a big industrial shed, so that's a good lead. So we can very quickly see the quality of the leads, and we can also see what keyword they typed, in this case, industrial roofing. And we also get email notifications where we can see the keyword the person typed, we can see how long the call was, and then we can read all of the phone call to really quickly get an idea if it was a qualified lead. Probably if it was 6 minutes long, then it's a qualified lead. So that's why I like to set up paid call tracking solutions. Every time we get a new phone call, it'll come through as an email and we can quickly read it and see if it was qualified or not. So it's much more convenient than just seeing a number on our Google Ads dashboard that we got a phone call. Awesome, so just to show you how to kind of set up what converts, which is what I recommend, there is another alternative, CallRail, which is also pretty good. But I kind of recommend What Converts because actually it's cheaper and I just find it's better. It has transcription for cheaper, and for Australian numbers I needed to talk to support to get them installed, but What Converts I can just do it myself. So I found What Converts to be a lot better. So like in terms of pricing, it's $30 a month for just call tracking and $60 a month for call tracking and form tracking. For all of my clients, I use call and form tracking, so we can kind of do conversion tracking in one place for a bunch of different reasons. It basically just lets me see what keyword every single lead came from, which is obviously useful. So yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Obviously do your own research for what call tracking solution you want to use, but I recommend What Converts. Awesome, so once you've set it up, you should see something like this. It's just showing you some like sample data, but you know, if we go live data, then 0 leads were generated. Then we're going to want to go to tracking and then calls and then phone numbers. And basically what we're going to do is add a dynamic pool. We can also just add one phone number, but what the dynamic pool allows us to do is to get data on where the person came from. And the way it does that is for every unique visitor, if there's 2 people visiting at the same time, then person 1 will receive phone number 1 and person 2 will receive a different phone number. They'll see a different phone number on the website. So that's, yeah, basically how it works. And because they know that that visitor is seeing that different phone number, then they can kind of cross-reference where that lead came from to that number if that person decides to call. So you just need to basically make sure that you have more phone numbers than unique visitors at any one time. But normally for local business, 2 phone numbers is enough. So awesome. So sorry, we just go add dynamic phone and we'll go typical setup. And then I'm in Australia, so I'll do Australia and we'll do Brisbane. So this is basically going to give you some local numbers that you can use as tracking numbers. So as I said, you only really need 2 to get this kind of dynamic tracking to work. Then I'll just enter the destination number. This is just a random number. And yeah, that previous one is your actual number. It could be your office number or it could be a mobile number that you want the phone numbers to get sent to. That's like your actual number. And then here we can select some options. So call recording, definitely select that. I guess there's no reason not to. Call greeting. This I think is a legal requirement, so I normally have it, and you can select a different voice. So like I normally select an Australian voice, so you can listen to it. And basically every time the person calls you, they will hear this and then it'll forward to your actual number. And I think that's just a legal requirement because you are recording their calls. And then I also like to tick transcription, which requires call recording. It's kind of nothing else that's worth doing. Then I'll click finish, but I don't want to buy these phone numbers, but for you, obviously click finish. Awesome. So the next step, once you have your phone numbers, is to track leads and send the conversions to Google Ads. So basically we want to integrate Google Ads. So we go into integrations and then Google Ads, and looks like I've already set it up. But if you haven't set it up, then you should see something like add connection, but I'll go through the steps anyway by just doing edit connection here. Then you want to select your account. In my case, it's a manager account, so I've got multiple accounts. So I select the relevant account, and then I just leave this and I name this Google Ad extension, and then we want to trigger it every unique lead we get. First click is fine, and then every new lead we receive, we want to trigger the conversion, and then we do want to update the value, sales value, if the sales value changes. And then I just do phone calls longer than 0 seconds because I just want everything, but realistically you could do like 30 seconds here or 10 seconds, so voicemails aren't counted. Awesome. And just to check, a couple days later, once you got a few leads, the leads come through in this contact section with the import from clicks type of conversion source. It is a little bit slower than the other conversion types to sync, but it's tracking web forms and phone calls, so all in one go, so it's better in that way. And yeah, we can see 217 came through. It's all working correctly. The main thing is it does take like 24 to 48 hours for the conversions to be imported, so just be a little bit patient, but all of them will come through correctly eventually. And that's pretty much it for how to set up call tracking in your Google Ads account. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll be happy to help.